Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a drugstore foundation review. I am going to be reviewing the L'Oreal Lumi Cushion Foundation. Now I do want to say I think this is just new to us in the US. I think in Korea and some other places this foundation or foundations similar to this have been out for quite some time. But this is new to our drugstore and I picked it up at Walmart. I have seen it at Walgreens and Bed Bath & Beyond. The price ranges anywhere from $14 to $17, so it is on the higher price range for drugstore foundations. Starting off with the packaging, it comes in a really pretty rose gold and white case. It's easy to store, so I don't mind the packaging at all. Whenever you open it, you get this little sponge in there, and I just used it, so this is what it looks like. And then there's another layer that you open up, and that's where the product is. I'll show you a little close-up. So as you can see, it is just a sponge that just has the foundation saturated into it. There's a ton of product in the sponge. It's super wet, so that is something that I like about it. It does come with a full-size mirror, which is also nice. So the way this foundation works is they want you to take this sponge and just press it in here and then apply it directly to your face in a tapping motion, and I will be showing you a little clip of me applying it. Now, I do want to start off with saying I don't think this is very hygienic. I just feel like there's a lot of room for bacteria to get in there, and the only way you're gonna keep it somewhat clean is if you wash this little pad every time, which I do. I use the Beauty Blender Solid Cleanser to wash this every time I use it. I did want to show you kind of what it looks like after I get in using it. It is really messy to work with. You're supposed to, there's a little band right there where you put your finger in and then you just press it in. But if you press it too hard, the foundation gets on the other side, gets on your fingers. So I don't like that about this foundation because it can be messy. I have tried it with a beauty blender and I like the way that that applies better, and it's just cleaner for me. It doesn't get everywhere. The beauty blender kind of sucks up the foundation and then distributes it on your face properly. So that's how you apply this foundation. Now, I do want to start off by saying that there are 12 shades available. There's 4 warm tones, 4 cool tones, and 4 neutral tones available. The shade I have it in is W5.5. Now, I do use the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation in the glass jar, just the regular foundation, and I am in W5 and W6, so I figured this would be the perfect shade for me. So a little backstory. I have been wearing this foundation for a few weeks. I want to say about 2 weeks now. And majority of the time when I put it on, I just wear it at night because it gets dark at like 5 o'clock. So if I'm going out to dinner or anything like that, I will apply this. And it looks beautiful. This leaves you with a dewy, luminous finish to your skin. It's very natural. It's very light. So when I'm looking at it in artificial light, it looks really nice and healthy and doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of makeup, but it just gives you a really nice, fresh look to your skin. Well, the last, I want to say 3-4 days, I've been wearing it and testing it out in natural sunlight. And the first time I saw myself in natural sunlight, I literally was like shocked that I looked like that. Because what I did not see in artificial lighting is that this oxidized on my skin. So whenever I was looking at it in natural sunlight, I looked almost 2 shades darker than the rest of my, like than my neck or my chest. It was traumatizing. I could not believe that it oxidized so much, and I had no idea. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, shit, have I been looking like this the last 2 weeks and nobody has told me? But I swear I've looked at it in just like artificial lighting and you can't tell at all, but when you go outside in natural lighting, it does oxidize. So I would say to go down a shade if you're going to try this. It just wasn't, I felt like this would be the perfect shade for me, but it's not. It did oxidize on me. Now, the thing with the colors, there's 12 colors available, but there's only 4 warm shades, which is the shade that I'm in, the tone that I got. The next one down is too light for me. So it's either hit or miss with the colors. Either you're going to get your perfect shade and it's going to work for you and it's going to look good, or it's going to be either too dark or too light. And that's just my opinion. I would suggest looking at it in natural lighting as opposed to bathroom lighting or any kind of artificial lighting, just because for me it did look different. Going on to the claims, it claims that it is sheer to medium coverage and it is suited for all skin types, even sensitive skin. That's their claim. I have noticed that this is sheer to light coverage. It doesn't offer that much coverage for me, but it does give a nice luminous finish to your skin, so I do like that. As far as being buildable, I wouldn't say it's buildable to full coverage at all. The most you would probably get is a medium coverage, but another thing that I have noticed is it doesn't cling to any of my dry patches, anything like that, but if I don't set this foundation, it is too dewy for my skin, and I never say that because I'm dry, but it starts looking borderline oily. So I do have to set with some kind of light powder, and then the finish is great. This is what I've been wearing, and this has been on my face probably for about 6 hours, and I am noticing that it is starting to wear off a little bit. So the longevity of this foundation is anywhere from 6 to 7 hours, I want to say. After that, I do have to touch up with some kind of powder. This foundation does not have any SPF in there, so keep that in mind. You will have to apply some sort of SPF if you're going to be outdoors and things like that. But as far as this foundation goes, I was not impressed. Initially when I got it, I loved it. I really like the way, I haven't ever used a cushion foundation, so I really liked the way this foundation worked, especially with the Beauty Blender. Not so much with this sponge, but I just feel like there's room for bacteria to get in there. It's not very hygienic for me, at least. I like foundations that come with a pump. The main deal breaker for me was the way it oxidized. I just don't think that this is my shade. I feel like if I did have a shade, if they come out with more shades, like a W4 maybe, then I think that would work better for me. But just with the shades being so limited, there's only 4 shades for each tone that you are, so I feel like it's not going to work for me, at least. If you guys have tried this foundation, let me know if this is oxidized on your skin. I have just been noticing it only when I'm out, but that's like the most important time, because who gives a shit if you're looking oxidized in your own home? I mean, literally was scared when I walked outside and I pulled down my visor and looked in the mirror, and I was like 2 shades too dark. It looked like I had just grabbed anybody's foundation and slapped it on my face and said, let's keep it moving. It was not good. So keep that in mind. If you are going to purchase this foundation, I recommend getting a shade lighter. It does blend out beautifully. The finish looks great when you're looking at it. It's just very natural, and it looks like your skin. So I do like that. This would be ideal if you are on the drier side. If you're oily, I don't see how this would work at all, just because even for me, I had to set it. So I would not recommend this if you are oily, but if you are dry, I definitely would recommend it if you can find your right shade. With that being said, those are my thoughts on this foundation. I hope you guys found this to be helpful. Please let me know if you have tried it and what your thoughts are. I would love to hear other people's opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.